Hello, Ginger Geeks. That was the wrong intro. My bad. Hello, Geekist. This is Ginger Geekist. How y'all doing today? Now, this is going to be another What If Mythos, and instead of switching two mythos around, this is going to be a question mythos that I'm going to try to ponder how this would affect the DC Universe, and how it would affect the fandom, and how that would go with that. So, without further ado, here we go. Hopefully you guys like this one. What if Dick Grayson and Jason Todd switch places? Now, when I say switch places, I don't mean that Jason Todd was found before Dick Grayson. I mean that a notorious thing, when Jason Todd was killed, what if Joker, instead of killing his Robin, his current Robin, what if instead Joker decided to go one step further and kidnap Nightwing and kill Dick Grayson? Now, what would this entitle to the DC Universe, and what would this do to Batman and everybody around it? Now, point in fact, Dick Grayson dying would probably hurt Batman more than when Jason Todd died. Jason stunned him and just shocked him, and he didn't have a Robin for the longest time. It was the darkest time that Batman ever had in the comic books. But let's just keep in mind that Dick Grayson was the very first ward that he had, very first person he trained as Robin, and he got so close to this that it was pretty much Bruce was his father figure and his father. If Dick Grayson and Jason was his ward, but they did not know each other for that long. Jason was not Robin for that long. He was killed very, very early. Dick was Robin for a really long time, and even though they had a falling out because Dick Grayson was tired of living in Bruce's shadow, they still had respect for one another and they still loved each other. Now, this is basically, what if Dick Grayson was killed? Bruce would break down to a new level. No one's going to be able to save him from this brooding stage of his life. Dick Grayson is dead. He's going to be freaking out. He is going to not want to take an inner Robin. He's going to kick Jason Todd out of the cave. He is not going to want Jason near him because he feels like there is nothing sacred, nothing safe. Alfred can't even say anything to help him. Jason would not know what to do because he looked up to Dick Grayson. He wanted to be the best Robin, and he always looked up to Dick Grayson. Even though Jason was a completely different type of person than Dick Grayson, let's keep in mind that Dick Grayson had black hair. Jason for a while did not have black hair, and he dyed his hair to match Dick Grayson so that he could even be more like Dick Grayson. With Dick Grayson dead, the Titans would have no leader. There would be no leadership for the Teen Titans whatsoever. He would not be romantically involved anymore with Barbara Gordon or Starfire, and there would be no nice thing for Batman at all. Batman would probably never take a Robin, and we would probably go straight up Dark Knight Returns Batman, just super dark, brooding. He's not going to talk to anyone, even he doesn't even want to talk to Alfred. You know, just badness. Because people don't realize that Dick Grayson and him were close as hell. They were pretty much like father and son. In the new Injustice thing, when Dick Grayson is dead, he holds a grudge against Damian, even though Damian breaks down in tears because he kills Dick Grayson. He still holds a bludgeoning grudge against him because he killed Dick Grayson. Even though it was because he was lashing out with anger, he killed Dick Grayson. And then went to join Superman because it was just the right thing to do. And then took the Nightwing persona. Just took it. Like it was no big deal that he took somebody that he killed's persona. Makes no damn sense to me whatsoever, and it was very, very mean for Damian to do. I don't understand. There would be no Tim Drake. Tim Drake would never be found. If Bruce found him, he would do so many different things and not have him become Robin. He might become a Red Robin or something else like a vigilante. Jason wouldn't have been killed, so there's no Red Hood. Or is there? Maybe Jason would have a falling out with Batman and he would state that he wants to be a vigilante just like Batman, so he would go off and do what he wants to do and he would come back as the Red Hood. I don't think he would do the Red Hood because Joker would not be there, and also Joker probably wouldn't be killed because Bruce would not succumb to that dark place yet, because Dick Grayson would never want him to kill anybody. Dick Grayson was a firm believer in the Batman rule of do not kill no matter how crazy they are. So, I think the implement for the DC Universe is Batman would not be Batman the same. He would be super brooding. Like, we're talking more brooding than he should be. And I know I've said that so many times. The Justice League wouldn't want to be near him. He would be so skeptical of everybody in the Justice League. He'd be so skeptical to talk to anybody. He would probably still talk to Superman somewhat, but it would be dark talks. Like, he just doesn't want to be happy at all. It would take him forever to try to be happy. Damian would probably still come into the picture, but he would be very, very against training Damian because of what happened to Dick Grayson and how he was killed. And, I mean, hopefully Bruce would get out of the funk. It would probably happen. This is comic books. So, but with Dick Grayson dead, it would just be a really, really sad Bat history. There would be no, like, little bright points or anything like that. Barbara Gordon wouldn't possibly get married to Dick Grayson and have a baby. Just many dark things. Dick Grayson is a great pivotal point of the Dark Knight series of Batman. Jason dying turned into a great thing for the character. He was a crappy character when he first came out, and now he's an amazing character. He's part of the Bat family. He's Red Hood, and he's a good character. He's a vigilante, and he's trying less to kill people, I guess. He was teamed up with Arsenal and Starfire, and I guess he was also fucking Starfire, which was weird, because technically Dick Grayson, they hinted that they had a romantical thing, and that means that he was fucking his protege's girl. Ex-girl, which is really weird because technically they are not biological brothers but fraternal brothers, because Bruce they're both their wards, and Bruce has specifically adopted them so they are technically family. So that means technically if Bruce Wayne, let's say if Dick Grayson was alive, Bruce Wayne would leave if he died before Damian. Damian is now the complete successor because he is Damian Wayne. But second to Damian now is Dick Grayson. For a while before Damian, Dick was number one. He would have gotten every bit of money and everything and all that other stuff. And he actually became Batman. So, who knows? But that's what I think. I think that this would basically make Batman super dark. Probably get some really great stories, but he would have no Robin and he'd be dark. I mean, he wouldn't be killing people, but boy, oh boy, would he be beating the living crap out of people, and he'd probably be a lot different to all of his villains, especially Joker. He wouldn't kill Joker, but he would be very, very different to Joker and not express that he wanted to joke around or something like that. But anyways, guys, that was my third What The Mythos. Leave a comment below if you want me to do anything dealing with anime, comic books, or mixing them together. I do everything from Marvel, DC, I do Image Comics, and I do Valiant also. I talk about Valiant. I have not really talked about them. I have tried to read their stuff, and their stuff is really, really great. I like indie stuff. I will talk to you about mangas. I like animes. Any of these things, I can do a What If Mythos, like what if this character was in this universe, what would happen, and all that. What If Mythos is basically me speculating on what can happen. So, this is the third one. If you guys like it, leave a comment below. Subscribe if you want to. Please share with your friends. And this is Ginger Geek saying, see you all in the next video, and stay frosty.